Today, I'll be teaching us what I call 5 dimensions for effective and outstanding leadership. Oftentimes people think that leadership is a one-way thing. It's a one-way trafficator. No, leadership is dynamic. Leadership is pragmatic. Leadership dances. It can dance to any side, and that what makes it a leadership. And that is why people like us, who are leadership scholars, believe that leadership is a verb, because leadership is about action. It is action that demonstrates and prove you as a leader. So what I'll be teaching you today is a different dimensions, the 5 dimensions you must leadership involves. And by the time you learn these 5 dimensions, it will help you to succeed in your leadership. Now, what are those dimensions that you must adopt in your leadership, or what we call 5 ways? The number one is the lead from the front. What do I mean by lead from the front? It's lead by example. For instance, in Nigeria, where we have leaders that don't live in by example, they say something else, they do something different. They tell you to do A, why they go and do B. Let me give an example. For instance, in Nigeria, you see governments and government officials. They will tell you to make sacrifice in nation building, but you see them buy all kinds of material things, waste resources of the state and the resources of the country, and yet they are telling others to make sacrifice. You see, for instance, in Nigeria, where 21 billion will be used to renovate just a vice president's house. You see where 39 billion is used to renovate just a conference center, not building new one. You see where billions are used for this. You see where billions are budgeted just for a state house clinic. Yes, there is no single drug there. Now they say they say that you should make a sacrifice. Where is the sacrifice? So when you talk about leading by example, it means the leader is at the front. The leader do it, and people watch the leader and do what the leader do. And the leader acts, people watch the leader. The leader move, the people watch the leader. The leader stand, the people watch that he stand. The people will now stand. So it is exactly people doing exactly what the leader is doing. If you want any result, you to be the first to bring out that result, and people will follow you to act on that result. But if you don't do that, you are not leading. The first and the most important fundamental of leadership is to lead, and people watch and do what you do. That is the first dimension of leadership. That is leading from the front. The second one is leading from the sides. What do we mean by leading from the side? It means listening and asking questions. I say leading from the sides. We have two sides. We have the right side. We have the left side. The leadership moves on these two sides. The right side is the listening. The left side is asking questions. It is difficult to succeed in your leadership. It is difficult to understand and recognize what people want and what people desire to get from you as their leader when you do not ask them questions. It is asking questions is like investigating the mind of the people. It is by asking questions you discover their mind, you discover their intention, you discover what they want from you. So the question revealed what people want from their leader. Why asking questions will help you to go deep in finding out what people want. And that's why I always say that leadership is all about adding value and making people better. But for you to add value and make people better, you must listen to their story and ask them questions. These two things must go together, or else you miss the track of what people want from you. So that is the second dimension. Why you are leading the pace, being at the front, then ask questions and listen to them. The third dimension is what I call leading from behind. Leading from behind means providing them support. Yes, providing the people support. What we mean by that? That a leader is someone who makes available resources, who provided the enabling environment, who provide every enablement that will help the people to do what? To discover their potential, develop their potential, and unleash their potential. This is the job of a leader. So you must act in the dimension, in the way that will help them to succeed. If you are leading people and are not succeeding, and that's why when I teach leadership, I say first thing that leadership do is that for you to know are people are following you, are people are learning, and are people succeeding. If people are not succeeding, that means you are not giving them support enough. The fourth dimension is what I call leading from below. What do I mean by leading from below? Leading from below means serving the people. Serving the people means lifting their burden. A leader is a burden carrier. A leader carries the burden of the people. A leader carries the burden of the people on his shoulder, on his head, and on his body. And that is why that they always say, if you cannot be If you don't like the heat, don't be in the kitchen. The burden of the people is the heat of the leader. So that is another dimension. Why you lead the people? Their burden is your burden. Their suffering is your suffering. Their crisis is your crisis. So the leader is expected to push people, to serve the people, to help them, to serve them, to pour himself or themselves into the people. So that is leading from below. You are no longer at the front now, but you are behind, pushing them, pulling them out from the pit where they have fallen into. That is another dimension of leadership. The last dimension, but not the least, is leading from the above. Why do I call it leading from above? It means leading with vision. Vision is one of the key things that define a leader. And what is a vision? Vision is the picture of the future that is not seen by the physical eye, but seen by the mind And if a leader does not have vision, where is he taking the people? That's it. So you must be able to have a vision and communicate the vision clearly to the people. When you are unable to communicate the vision clearly to the people, you will fail in your leadership, because it is enriching to the vision that will prove that you have actually led the people. So the leader must be able to communicate the vision, the picture, he's going the big picture, and again the buy-in of the people. That is the 4 dimensions of leadership. The first is leading from the front, leading by example. The second is leading from behind, providing them support. The third is leading from beside, listening and what? Asking questions. And the fourth one is leading from below. That is pushing them, giving them support. And finally, leading from above. That is giving them a vision of the future where they are going. These are the 5 dimensions of leadership. See you in my next video.